Hello, this is Steve Blumenfeld of Networking Fun with another computer side chat. As I've mentioned before, we're here in Houston, Texas, and it's May, so trust me, this is no time to be wearing a cozy sweater or sitting beside a fireplace. Now today I want to talk to you about reality. No, not those vapid TV shows. I want to talk about how you think. So the title of this video is, It's All in Your Mind Anyway. Now when someone says the word conditioning, what do you think of? Most people think of physical conditioning like running, aerobics, weightlifting, things like that. You're either in shape or you're out of shape. Now, I know round is a shape, ha 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 ha, but let's get serious here. There's another kind of conditioning that we don't often speak of, or maybe we're not even aware of, and that is mental conditioning. Now, this kind of conditioning plays a major role in what you do in life. Reaching your goals, and even having goals, can be determined by your mental conditioning. The biggest hindrance to anything that you're trying to achieve can be your mental conditioning. For example, there were some circus elephants who, when not performing, were tethered to a stake in the ground with heavy chains encircling one of their legs. And this was begun when they were baby elephants, and it extended for several years of their growth. After a period of years, the circus people could tether these same elephants with only a little bitty rope that could easily be broken by the now grown elephants. But the elephants never tried to escape. Why was that? Because the elephants had been conditioned by time that they couldn't break these chains. They couldn't see the reality that they weren't chains anymore, but ropes. In the elephant's mind, these were still chains. Now, Pavlov did something similar with dogs. Perhaps you're familiar with this experiment. Every time Pavlov would feed his dogs, he would ring a bell first. And after a while, the dogs associated the bell with their food, and when hearing the bell, they would begin to salivate in anticipation of receiving the food. It got to the point where every time any bell rang, any bell, they would start to salivate. Now I can certainly identify with something like that, because every time I hear the word Miller Lite, I start salivating. But that's different. Now, are you conditioned in a way that if you're a salesman and you hear the word no, you give up? Are you conditioned to quit every time you fail at something? Perhaps you're conditioned by your family not to take any risks, like getting involved in an MLM business, for example, or investing money or time in a project that they might perceive as frivolous. In my case, I've been conditioned so that whenever someone disagrees with me, I begin to get mad and talk louder. That's what we did in my family. Now perhaps you were conditioned so that when you took a family trip, you had to make good time on the highway. Maybe you're conditioned to think that anyone different from you is somehow less than you, or even more than you. So, conditioning, on the other hand, can be a good thing. If you've had a good role model, then perhaps you've been conditioned with a never give up attitude, with an I can do anything belief. Okay, now pretend you're a shrink. You sit in your chair with your pad and pencil, and you say things like, oh, and go on, and, well, it seems we're out of time. You know, you ask questions like, how does that make you feel? And then what happened? And really, you repeat everything someone says to you, and you add a question mark at the end. You've been trained to see things about people that perhaps they cannot see themselves. And then you charge them out the wazoo for it. Now, shrinks know what conditioning is and how it can help or hinder a person. The fact that shrinks don't have any emotions is beside the point. I know, that's just my personal observation. So, is it all in your mind? Well, sure it is. Can you change your own conditioning? Well, sure you can. Can a shrink change a light bulb? Well, only if the light bulb wants to change. Well, sorry, I couldn't resist that one. So what's holding you back from achieving your goals, your dreams, or living up to your full potential? Well, it's you. It's all you. When the Army says, be all you can be, who decides what that all is? Well, you do. Just like when the restaurant says all you can eat. Well, again, it's up to you to decide how much you can eat. Think about what you learned growing up. And if you see things that need changing, that are holding you back, then work on making those changes. Perhaps you'll become more successful and fulfilled in life than you've ever imagined. This is Steve Blumenfeld of Networking Fun, and here's to your success. I'll see you next time.